Hello all and welcome to Best of the Best Round 4 here at Kingston Oval, sponsored tonight, as always, by the incredible Lucky Signs. You can find Lucky Signs all over Facebook on the different promotions. Get in touch with him, get a sign job off him, poster. He's the man to have your posters done by. Also tonight, guest sponsored by Perkster's Pet Care, Dwarfs Auto Parts, Big Dogs Darts League, and Value Marks Class Axe. Give them a shout out. So, I am the voice for tonight, Twisty51, and joining me is co-host, mastermind, creator, and indeed the looks behind the series, Mr. Sean136. Hello, Sean.
These introductions get better and better every month. I like this one more. Hello,
Cheers,
Sean.
mate.
You're
Cheers.
right,
Well, we do try.
Better known as Twisty.
Thank you, yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, but obviously we can't be.
We don't want to
both known
confuse
as Sean,
everyone.
can we?
No, we don't want to confuse
I did
everyone.
contact the parents this month and ask them if they could change my name to make it easier for us on these Best of the Best meetings, but they weren't having any of it. So we're going to be stuck with Twisty and Sean for now, I think.
If you want him to change his name, just put down in the chat what you want him to change to. I'm sure you can think of some fantastic ideas. I can think of a few, but not worthy for the stream.
No. Obviously, save the saucy ones for Sean's chat so that his account gets banned and not mine.
Oh, cheers, mate. Appreciate that.
But any names welcome, and indeed thought about. So, Sean, intro. We've had a few discussions this week, haven't we? So that I don't drop you in anything of what we might talk about for the first 5 minutes.
I'm sure you will. You're getting good at doing that.
So, firstly, and I think most importantly, most will know that this month Bugbear dropped a massive update for us short oval UK racing fans, which included Brisker F1 stock cars, the Granada, the Hearse, or Hurst as some people know it, and a couple of new tracks, one of which we'll be racing at tonight, Kingston Raceway. What's your thoughts, Sean?
Oh, absolutely fantastic, isn't it? Literally, we've been wanting something like this for years, and we get it. And I mean, you want more, but you couldn't get any more. The community have asked, and we've got, and couldn't be happier.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I don't want to yank your chain too much. I've already done a bit of yanking, but I'm going to re-yank it again. When you originally thought of this series, and I came along and stole some of your thunder, it was with the idea of getting Wreckfest's attention and trying to say to them that we wanted bangers in the game. And 3 months on from starting this series, we've got it. So I can only think that it's all down to you, mate.
Well, hopefully. I can't take all the credit, mate, but I think everyone that's done something or sent a message to them or anything in comments has helped towards this. You wouldn't have got any of this if it wasn't for that. So I can't take all the credit.
No, so more of the same, please, Bugbear. But massive thank you already for what you're doing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, it's going to sound like a redundant question, this, Sean, but why did we change to Kingston?
Well, because it's a carbon copy of Arena S, isn't it?
Yeah.
You couldn't get any more British Oval than. It's the perfect track for this. It's going to cause carnage. It's going to cause fantastic racing. I'm really looking forward to this, and the commentary box is quite nice, even though it needs a bit of a refurb, but it's getting there.
It's lovely, mate. It's got everything you need. The fridge for the beer, the microwave for me Rustler's burger. I am living luxury here, and a nice seat with a 2-metre gap on the table between me and you. So we can maintain that social distancing. We can get rid of the table when we're allowed to, Sean.
Oh, maybe get a bit closer, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, possibly. We'll see.
Oh, maybe get a bit closer,
see what the crack is. Yeah. You listen to the footage, right?
Yeah, because we clicked on my TV and I didn't realise it was on. Just, at least I know it's working.
So, So just to recap, we've moved to Kingston. It's a British banger track. Big Valley has been very good to us. A nice arena. Bit of aggro in the program between Kingston and Big Valley there. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know. Don't know what's happened there, but possibly
maybe
something that
see
can be
something
settled
in
in
the
a
future.
future meeting maybe. And another change we've got for tonight is a damage change. So talk us through the decision there, Sean.
I think to make it as exciting as possible, and it's in the intense damage is going to provide more realistic crashes. It's going to mean that the drivers are going to have to put the bumper in a bit more cleverly because they're going to knock a wheel off or two, but you're going to see them bend a hell of a lot more than you would on the previous damage that we've used, which is the normal damage. So I think it's another challenge for the drivers, and it's going to make things more exciting, I think. And hopefully we may see a few races with only a few cars left.
Yeah, that's the hope. I mean, anybody who's been to a real banger meeting will know that most races end with probably a start. They probably start with around 20 cars and end with about 5 left running. And I think with this damage change tonight, we should hopefully recreate some of that.
Yeah, with any luck.
With any luck, we're also getting some comments in the chat that it's looking like a bit of a Roddy lobby, and we're going to get onto the driver introductions at about 9:15. But I think looking at some of the cars out, I don't think. I mean, it is looking Roddy, but these drivers have been instructed tonight to entertain, and I think that's what we're going to get.
Yeah, I think with the nature of the track, I mean, everyone wants to have a win. Well, I think we will see a few going crashing. I wouldn't be surprised there at all tonight. It's the nature of the track, isn't it, at the end of the day?
This is it. So, final thing to mention, I think, before we get on to the drivers' introductions, and we don't want to mention too much in terms of which teams are in, but there's quite a few teammates in tonight. So, if there was ever the chance that yourself and some of your fellow Barton boys got into one of these, Sean, I know that's far-fetched, but in the event that happened, what do you think would happen? Do you think you'd try and help your teammates, or do you think you'd be trying to take them out?
I think we'd probably work together, I think. I think we'd try and put on a show, I think. I generally don't think we'd probably even, Rod, I think we'd probably go in some nice big yanks and just start putting it about.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what lacks sometimes. I think some of the drivers want to, obviously they want to win again because it's about winning the best of the best as well. You know, a lot of these guys going through winning a qualifier, so a lot of them are probably more the Roddier drivers. We have got obviously Entertainer in here as well. But I think that, you know, when you get into something like this, it's like when you get in the World Final and you go, you know what? I'm just going to bring out the biggest thing I can find and let's wreck some cars.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there is one bit, and again, we'll get onto the driver introductions. There is one big team in here, qualified mainly because they're all really rapid drivers. But we have been assured that they are going to be putting it about, and team-wise, they're not really looking to help each other out tonight, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. So we've hit 15:15, Sean. Are we missing any drivers?
We are missing Kiffer, I believe. I believe he's been running late, but I haven't had any confirm that when he's going to arrive. So we may see him miss the first heat, which will be a shame. Everyone else is here. Okay,
should we just double check in with some of the other drivers and see whether any of them know anything? Because I mean, if he's almost here, then it would be a shame for us to go without him.
Definitely. Hopefully he'll be just switching Xbox on and getting ready to load. And then we can get on with introducing all the drivers in here. We are seeing some some car changes, which I'm happy to see.
I think
Maybe they listened.
Possibly some. Yeah, definitely. So, obviously, all those watching, got quite a few watching on both streams. You can watch either stream. You'll be able to hear us both on either stream. If you could give us some follows, give us some likes, have a bit of a chat in the comments, it all helps. Come and find us on Facebook, and you might be able to get involved in this next month. And looking at the numbers, it looks like we've hit 50 already, so that is great news. A few people in the chat there shouting out for drivers. We've got Smith Dog shouting out for Boffy and Dizzy Dex, and Rob Woolhouse shouting out for Jay Taylor. Of course, well, like I said, we'll be going through these drivers very shortly. Any news on Kiffer?
I've not. They're waiting on a reply from him, so he may be missing the first heat.
Okay, well,
it is a shame.
What we might do then is we might still give Kiffer the introduction when it's supposed to be him.
Yeah, definitely.
Shorty there in the comments shouting for Staples for the win. I'm pretty certain that's not going to happen tonight.
Oh no, there's someone in here. What have you done, Twisted?
We're going to sort it. He's at the front.
Oh, and someone's... there we go.
We're sorted. Whew. Panic over.
Everyone seems to know what they're doing. Right, I'm going to drive around to my spot for the pace car.
Yeah, and I'll leave you to it, and I'll go and park myself somewhere where I'm hidden. Near nightmare. We just avoided that.
There was a near nightmare, wasn't it?
Crikey. Honestly, mate, honestly. Yeah, that nearly did go badly. Right. So, first up we have Gru. And Gru qualifies today as the best of the best. Round 3 final winner. He also won the VBRL spot as well this month, but obviously because he already qualified, that spot went to someone else, and we'll no doubt hear about that later on. Gru is rocking... now what's he rocking tonight? That's a wingman, isn't it? So he's obviously out for the crash. He is... So, as I mentioned, he's a recent Warrington World Cup winner. He also sent me a list of different things he's won. So... a lot of them were team meetings. He arrived in VBRL as an icebreaker at the icebreaker meeting, taking that championship with TGU, and TGU are now 3 times champions in the past 4 months. So obviously, not surprised to see many of those out tonight. One thing he did want us to mention before the meeting was that a lot of the other drivers have been getting kebabs and pizzas in for tonight's meeting, but unfortunately, Gru doesn't get his pocket money until Friday. So he's going to have to wait until Friday for his kebab. But he has had a nice oven pizza tonight, so he's up for it and ready. And I'm hoping he's going to head round towards you now, Sean.
Hopefully. As he still sits on the start line, I move on to Taylor at 8:07. So he got in through, which is unusual, getting second place in the VBRL Scottish to Jay Cant. So not a bad way to become to get second.
No.
Jay Kent already qualifying. He's the ex-captain of the Original Nutters. He's a previous Calendar Cup champion. He has got a new team, which is a lot of the drivers are from Original Nutters, and a few drivers. A few new drivers, and there's a couple in here already, and he's also the father of Jay Taylor, who will be mentioned later on down the list. So there he is, sporting the Road Slayer, and we move on to the next one.
Very nice colours as well from Mr. Jay Taylor. So I'm going to sit on Jay Camp for this next one, because we're talking about Kiffer 196, who is part of the TGU team, and no doubt Kiffer will be sporting these colours, and probably a big car. He likes to entertain, Kiffer. And it's Kiffer's first meeting in the Best of the Best series, so it's great to see a newbie joining this lineup. I'm really excited about tonight's lineup because we've got a lot of new drivers, and it's great to see. We like seeing some of the returning drivers, but when you've got somebody new, you don't know what they're going to do, and it'll be interesting. He recently got upset with me because I said he wasn't much of a rodder, or maybe not quite the words I used. I think I said he was third or fourth best rodder in TGU, which is probably still third or fourth best rodder in the banking community.
Yeah, definitely.
But he qualified through SBL at SBL's World qualifying round 4, also on Kingston Oval, so he should go well tonight. We'll see what he comes up in first.
Yeah, definitely. So, moving on to next, we have Boffy 213, second member of TGU, a third member, I should say, we're mentioning TGU tonight. Obviously, you know, another really good driver. He's done Best of the Best round 1, he's done round 3. So, he's been through these before, new track, new damage. He's sporting a Road Slayer tonight. Really, obviously in the TGU colours as well. Better known probably in the team meets for people that have gone against TGU as a wrecker, but he's obviously a bit of a rodder. He's got in here 3 times. He can definitely put it about a bit. He's got the pace. He can do a bit of everything. So I'm hoping to see what he can do. Maybe in a bit more of a rodding car tonight than maybe we expected, especially from his teammates, counterparts, and will we see him be putting it about with the rest of his team? I'm looking forward to see that.
Yeah, definitely. Man, I've had a few battles with myself, Boffy, so I'll be interested to see how he goes. So next we find another driver who has done a few meetings here at the Best of the Best, Steve Sipka. Known usually as a bit of a wrecker, really, in meetings, a bit of an entertainer. But he's obviously a very fast man if he's been able to qualify for the Best of the Best 3 times. This is the first time he hasn't qualified through the last chance race, believe it or not. And he qualified as the WTC seed. He sent me a list before the meeting of titles he's won, so just to quickly blitz through these, he's the Cage British Champion, the WTC English Champion. He returned in January, first time he's returned since the grid days, for those who remember those way back early 2010s. He's mainly a Cage and VBRL driver, and he's also works as a tester for Dwarfs Brakes Limited. During most meetings. Last time out, you'll remember in one of the heats he put a massive hit in on Snapper. Snapper chose not to qualify for tonight's meeting because, to be quite frank, it took him 3 or 4 days to recover from the hit that Steve gave him. But as I mentioned at the start, Steve's got previous at the Best of the Best and he has won a heat, so whilst he's an entertainer, don't expect to see him rodding all night. Don't expect to see him entertaining all night even. Expect to see him rodding. Sean, yeah. We'll move on to a newbie, complete newbie.
Yeah, definitely new one to me, and I'm looking. But a few of these, it's Rodders 538. He, as we wait for him to come round to the start line, he got through the Cage seed and won their qualifier. What he says was a fluke. Can't be much. I mean, I'm looking forward to see what he can do. Sporting a Dominator tonight, which is better known as a Rover P5. Loving the colours as well, which is, for those who will know in the banking community, is Motley Crue colours. And I believe he races for them in real life as well. So, real banger driver, sporting around Arena Essex. Hopefully he'll put that good bit of British tin out about a bit. He said he's only been around on Wreckfest for about 4 months, so new to the scene. But I'm definitely looking forward to see what he can do in that machine. Shame no teammates to help him out. But we will see what we get on. Over to you.
Yes, so we'll move our way over to Ginge next, and I think, I mean, not to put a downer on the other drivers, but I think this is the one you have all been waiting for, Ginge. Now, When we talk about GOATs in relation to sports, we're often talking about the greatest of all time, of course. You could have Senna in the Formula Ones, Rossi in the Superbikes, or MotoGP rather. Stu Smith Senior in the Brisker F1s. We had a debate before this, actually, me and Sean, whether it's Jack Overy or Boxer Jack for the bangers. But you could well pass that on to the... Oh, hang on a second, I've got my notes wrong. Sorry, I'm reading my notes for Jay Cant. But anyway, Gingy's a very good rodder. He's been around since the early days of grid. Not the earliest of early days, but he's been around for the majority of them. And he's a quick driver, good wrecker. He likes nothing more than sitting on a corner and really upsetting another driver. And then he'll even go in for aftershots on Facebook after that. One thing you might not know about Ginger is he's a massive football fan, and when he's not out racing on the Xbox, you can often see him down his local Plymouth Argyle chanting "Green Army" from the spectator position. So I'm surprised to see he's not in the green tonight. But yeah, he's also been sponsored tonight by Pizza Palace. Mentioned earlier about Gru not getting his kebab. Ginger's got his pizza tonight from Pizza Palace. And he also asked us to mention that he is part of the Boogeymen, but none of them here with us tonight, apart from Ginger, so he's got it all to do by himself.
Right, sorry, I was having some problems
right,
there.
I can tell. I can tell.
Right. So we're moving on to the next one as we say goodbye to Ginger. He makes his round to the back straight away. It will be Jay Cant is the next one in our list. He's the TGU captain and recently beat my team for the calendar.
Sorry, Sean, I just stumbled there.
Still out, but can't beat them. He's the only driver to qualify twice in 1 month by winning. He got through the Trackstar seed through their qualifier, and then won the VBRL Scottish. He's sporting a wingman. What a car! So that's 2 wingmen for TGU. I'm looking forward to this very, very much in those cars. I expect them to put them about a bit.
Wingmen for the wingmen.
Yeah.
So, next on the line is going to be, if I can find him, there he is in his lovely purple car. Trying to get my camera in position. Pink? It's purple in my eyes, but we're going to say pink. Has he gone for the Stinkbridge colours? It's Sprat 212.
Yeah, I believe he used to be Stinkbridge in real life, so he may be upset they've called it purple.
Did he really? I think, yeah, to be fair, I think I know that, and I should have known that before I said it. But, Sprat, first time he's qualified for the best of the best, and I am really pleased to see Sprat in this race, because, quite frankly, when you talk about the fastest drivers on the game, I mean, we've already mentioned Jay Cant, we've already mentioned Ginge, but Sprat is up there with them too. And he's rapid. Absolutely rapid. I'm trying to find my notes. He's qualified through Northern Banger Seed, won the National Banger Championship there. He's also recently won the first Visca Stock Car Championship, the UK Open. He also sent me a list. He's won the Winter Massacre, the A1 Wokingham Open, the BBA Supreme, Spring Open, the World Cup. He's won the Irish Open in the saloons. So this lad knows where the checker flag is. And we've not had odds today. The bookies haven't turned up today. But if I was to make some odds, Sprat will be well up there. For pure pace alone, I think is a real rival for the likes of Jay Cant. Especially with Jay Cant turning up in the wingman.
Yeah, definitely. So, moving on to our next driver as we let Sprat go round to the back straight away. Dizzy Dex 834 is the next one on my list. He is a new driver to me. Never raced against him myself, so looking forward to see what he can do. He got through SSBL by winning their Japanese Masters. I think it was the second best of the best qualifier of this month. He there's not much to say. He's in a rammer, so I want to be able to say more about him. 1 second, I have got some notes on him. If I can find them.
One thing I will mention whilst you're looking for your notes, Sean, it looks like he's turned up in Leveller's colours. Is it Leveller's colours? No, sorry, no,
Level,
ignore me. Bongang colours. I tell you what, I'm all over the place tonight. Bongang colours.
Levels is green. What was all that?
Ignore me, mate.
No, I did have
comedy.
You're only here for the comedy.
Yeah, it will start soon, I promise.
Oh dear Lord, God help us. No, I can't find what I had. No, so I haven't got much to say. That was I do apologise for that, Dex, for if you're listening.
I think we can say he normally races Northern Bangers and SSBL and WTC occasionally, and he is a rodder, but he does like to put the bumper in as well. And it's nice to have an unknown in this meeting because he could do anything, and I'm expecting him to do anything.
To that. So, moving on to yours.
Yeah, we'll quickly skim through these parked cars now and find the one that I want. Where is he? Where's he gone? I'll tell you what, it's going to be quicker with the eye to find him. Mr. Grinners is the next one now. Here he is, he's moving already, he knows the script. It's good to see. So, Grinners qualified through this month's Best of the Best Battle Royal, and I had the pleasure of watching that Battle Royal shortly after I got my arse handed to me along with the other fat boys, courtesy of the Union Bears. And what intrigued me about that Battle Royal is Grinners, for the last 5 or 6 races, was in the elimination spot, and he often left it to the last lap to go for an absolute banzai on the final corner, take out the driver in front of him and finish second to last, meaning that he got through to the next round. And he did that right through to the last round where he was up against Lucky. He let Lucky go into the first corner, blitzed him, and then romped home to take the victory. Grinners is a fast driver. I've not seen him win much in terms of championships. I've seen him win plenty of races. He's only been around 4 months. But he's often got his running partner Grindlesnipe with him, so he's not got Grindlesnipe tonight, but I think he could go well tonight. I think he could be the dark horse for this meeting.
So, yeah, definitely. I commentated on that, so I'm looking forward to see how he gets on tonight. So, moving on, it's C. Banwell, Mr. Banwell. We can have him round. He's sporting a Jag tonight, which is nice. No, it's not a Jag, it's a Road Slayer, as I can see. He's a quick driver, as are the rest of the TGU. As also 3-time Calendar Cup champions. Again, beat my team the other night. It's rubbing salt in my wounds.
I'm sure we'll mention that once or twice tonight.
Yeah, well, I've already put it twice in there, so no more, please. But obviously, he's better known for racing saloons in real life. So looking forward to see whether maybe that's where he gets his experience from. Do you think maybe he carries his experience from real life over to the Xbox scene? That's very possible. You know, he's probably not one of the top runners out the team, because normally it would be Jay Cant, but with him being a wingman, we see Banwell possibly try and take the.
But very possibly, mate. Yeah. Yeah, I could see that happening. Definitely. Right. Jay Taylor. Second half of the father-son team. I think when this idea was originally founded, Sean, and we mentioned father-son teams, I think the first father-son team we think about is Snapper and Deck, of course, but the first father-son team to actually qualify is Jay Taylor and Taylor 807. Jay Taylor is on his third best of the best meeting now. He only missed the second one. He went through in the last chance race last night, which was the start of a brilliant night for him because he went on to win the figure of 8 world final at the Wreckfest Banger League over at the Wreckfest Banger community. So he's banging form and he's won plenty before. He's sporting his new colours along with a couple of his teammates in here as well. And you won't bet against him tonight. He's in the new Hunter Panther. I'll be interested to see how that goes. And, yeah, we'll see how he gets on with that. Now, Sean, just before you go on to Parky...
Yeah.
I'm just getting a few reports that your mic is crackling. So,
I think it may be that issue we've had before. Yeah.
And see if you join mine.
Right, hopefully that's working now.
Okay, I've included my audio on yours. Hopefully you can include yours on mine.
Right, awesome. Right.
And hopefully it won't be too bad.
No, hopefully not. So here's Parky294. He's we haven't got a team name for them yet. So if you've got a team name, tell us in the chat because we'd like to know. Obviously, we've already seen his fellow teammates. He's sporting a hearse, which is the right way because he's got in through here for the Entertainer of the Month vote, which was he won by 1 vote. Bit of a close vote. I think probably maybe surprised to get in here, but he's been putting it about all month. And it looks like he's going to be putting it about again in that. The hearse isn't a slow car by any means, but it's got the weight, it's got the strength, and I'm looking forward to see what he can do. Obviously, he's part of Taylor 807 and Jay Taylor's new team. So we're looking forward to see what comes from them moving forward. And you never know, he may be part of a new team to take down TGU. We will see. And that is it.
It would have to be some team. It would have to be some team, but you never know.
No, probably not. So, and we can wave Parky around to the back straight away. And that is everyone. So, just wait for him to go around.
So strap yourselves in, guys. We're about to get going with Heat 1. We are missing one driver who will hopefully be here with us for Heat 2. Chuck a name down in the chat who you think is going to take Heat 1. You can see all the cars. You've heard all the drivers. Car at the front there, Sean 136, is the pace car. And he will be setting a slow pace as he always does. Gru is just messing around there a little bit off the front. We know what Gru's like with pace cars. He likes sticking them in. So here we go. Very, very slow roll off. And the tension beginning to build there. So Gru is going to lead us on the first lap with Taylor in second and Boffy right behind Gru. We've had a shout out in the chat. Somebody is missing a green tie with yellow pinstripes. If you find that, please hand it into race control and we will get that to the rightful owner. As we come round now, Sean is just backing them up a bit and off he goes now and Gru's away into first place. Taylor 807 in second, he's putting an attack in. Boffy's going to come in. Big hit, Boffy coming in on... Boffy went straight up the back of Gru. So much for teamwork there. And it's the P5 of Rodders coming through in second place. The Taylor 807 still in second. He goes in for a big hit on Rodders. And Boffy somehow manages to ride it. Boffy's away, still in first place.
Yeah, so I'm back in the commentary box now. It's a quick run. I'm a bit exhausted, but we're ready to go. Rodder's already on upper, but his car looks a bit of a mess there with not much health there on the turns 3 and 4. Goes for Boffy. Misses that. Taylor hits him head on. That's him out. He's the first one out in this race. And the hits are going in. Massive Taylor gets put in there by Spratt on the turn 4 there. It's Boffy out in the lead from Jay Taylor in second place. There's no one at Oppo now. It's carnage already in this one.
It's what we wanted to see with this intense damage. Boffy leads from Jay Taylor and Grinner's in third. Jay Taylor and Grinner's coming from near the back of the grid to be on the back of Boffy here on lap 5. That's some good going from them three. Will we see some drivers on Oppo? We can see Parky down there in 12th. He got in as the entertainer. Expect to see him doing some damage in that hearse.
Yeah, fairly roddy so far in heat number 1 of tonight. Parky seems to have possibly lost the wheel on that hearse, so he turns it round now. Who's he going to go for? Who are we expecting? It looks like he's possibly going for Sipica. No, he hits. That was Dizzy Dex on the head on there. Didn't do much damage. Did more damage to himself.
I don't know what's happened out in the front, Sean. We were on board with Boffy, and Boffy coming down the home straight has clipped the side here. And it spun himself out, and that's left it open for Jay Taylor to lead the way, followed by Grinner's 355, Spratt up into third place. Really bizarre incident, that. Boffy can't blame anyone but himself there.
No, Jay Camp's on Oppo now, looking for Jay Taylor. He missed him there. Steve Sipka also on Oppo, hits Jay Taylor, gets in the way of all the drivers oncoming. That's Grinner's and Spratt, who hits Steve Sipka. Jay Camp on Oppo again, looking for Taylor. And he hits him, and Grew also an Oppo now. This is absolutely fantastic. There goes Taylor 807. He's gone. Jay Taylor still leading the way.
He's tiptoeing through that turn 3 and 4 there, getting through the blockers really well, Jay Taylor. The blockers have got to be careful here with this intense damage. They can't put too many hits in. So they've got to pick the hits, the ones that they're going to put in. Jay Taylor coming round again. Jay Camp with a bit of steam up.
He's looking for a hit. Oh, Grew gets him. And Grinners and Boffy and Dizzy Dex are following the charge behind. I think possibly trying to help Boffy in this one. It's nice to see Grew and Jay Camp putting it out. Steve Sipka as well. No surprise for him on the Oppo. We've seen him in previous Best of the Best putting it about. Oh, Jay Taylor, he managed to go wide, didn't he?
Dizzy Dex there, up into third place. Dizzy Dex has hardly got any damage on his car, just half a bar there, and I reckon he got that when the scrutineer leant in and checked his helmet was tight.
Fantastic. Banwell in the lead now, so what do they do with TG? So they're going for Jay Taylor. They're picking on him tonight. Ginger also got involved in that as well. He's down in 6th place. Grew being backed up on the home straightaway. He comes back down to the Oppo zone. Grinners looks like he's turned it now as well. Who's he going to go for? It's TGU in first place. Dizzy Dex in second. They're looking for Jay Taylor, Jay Can. And they go for Ginge.
Dizzy Dex doing a
big hit.
Well, that's what we like to hear. No bias coming from this commentator. Grinners with a massive shot there on C. Banwell, and Dizzy Dex being done by Jay Cant. That's going to be a big change around for the lead now. Dizzy Dex is just about going to get through in first, with Boffy in second. Ginge in third. Not much left of the back end of Ginge's car, but he's managed to keep it going. As we move on to the final lap here, and we're still on with C. Banwell, sat down in fourth. And, oh, big Oppo effort there. It's going to be Dizzy Dex coming through to take the win. Is Boffy going to get across the line for second? No, it's going to be C. Banwell second, Spratt in third. Whew. Some action there, Sean, in Heat 1.
Yeah, definitely. That was a decent one, that. I'm suffering with a bit of lag, so I do apologise.
Yeah, and I'm noticing the mics. I'm trying to fill in when it does go quiet, but it's difficult. I'm trying not to talk over you at the same time.
I know it's a bit of a mess for some reason. I don't know why it's doing it.
We'll do our best to soldier on and keep you up to date with the action.
Yeah, definitely.
Already fans there in the chat shouting on Dizzy. I think he's more of an SSBL driver, Dizzy, so great to see one of their drivers getting into this and already taking a win.
Yeah, definitely. I thought one of the TGU lads were going to take that win, but sadly it wasn't able to happen. Steve Sitka still putting it about, and as we wait for the timer there, you've seen on my stream. So
I've got Kiffer in.
That's what exactly. Now we've got all of the drivers we want in here now. So what is he in? I
Well,
think.
he's changing car. Currently sat in a Grand Duke. But that could
What?
be changing.
What does the chat want? What do you want? That's the thing. What do the spectators want to see on the chat? What do the TGU lads going to bring to the table? We've already got two wingmans out there. What else they got? And it's a Grand Duke. He's going with a Grand Duke. So, Boffy and Banwell are running. What do you make of that?
Well, yeah, I think well they both did well in that one. They picked up a second and a fourth. I mean, I know they'll have wanted a win, but not bad going. Not bad going considering the damage as well. And some of the Oppo team are in some strong cars. So I mean, Boff is in a road slayer. To keep a road slayer going for 15 laps on intense damage is some going.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a few road slayers in here. To be fair. I think I'm seeing 3 of them. So hopefully we'll see some more action in this one.
Having a few technical difficulties with my co-commentator here. Another shout out from Debster69. They've lost their iPhone near the ice cream stall. It's in a pink sparkly case. Please bring it. Oh, we have lost Sean Taylor from the thing. This is not looking good in terms of the technical side of things. He's hopefully we'll sort this out. I don't know what's going on. I don't know whether it's my end. Hopefully you can all still hear me, and we'll get Sean back in ASAP. But if there's no sign of Sean, I don't know what's going on. Big Dog's lost his dog. What would you class it as, Big Dog? Is it a small dog, big dog you've lost? Does it like the darts? You're going to have to give us a bit more detail, mate. Okay, so we're being asked to start Heat 2. I shall pace car. Get Sean back, hopefully. His internet has gone down, so you've currently got me as the sole commentator. Deck has lost his dad. Well, we're not going to commentate on that, Deck. That's a sad situation. Hopefully Snapper is found soon. So we're going to try and get these drivers lined up for you. Hopefully 2x2. See a lot of TGU lads at the front there, so it's looking good for them in terms of the start of this race. Ginger must be bricking it a little bit with all the dark red behind him. So we're going to start cranking them up a little bit here. I'm not in the best car for getting away from them on turns 4. I must admit, I'm going to try and dart to the inside and then find somewhere safe for my car. There's a bit of arguing back there in terms of who's in what position. So we're just going to try and let them get into the right place. Park is a bit all over the place. And what we might do actually is we might turn off there and leave them to go. I reckon the car will stay there nicely. And hopefully we are on board. We are on board with C. Banwell going into turns 1. And he's leading Grinners away again in second place. And Ginge in third. Boffy fourth. J. Taylor fifth. Kiffer in sixth. So Banwell leading away. Going on to lap 3 of 15. Grinners third, second still. And Ginge third. Banwell putting a time there of 16.9. That's not a bad time for a banger car. Grinners going really well in second place. Ginge in third. And again, no sign of any Oppo drivers yet. We'll try and get a bit more of the track here so we can maybe see a bit more. See what's going on. Jay Taylor has unfortunately found himself on the outside of the track. He will be able to get back onto the inside of the track, but he's going to have to stop himself to do it. And there he is, and he's taken a lot of damage for doing that. Ginge goes in for a big shot on him. He's rejoined in the wrong place for him. And Steve Sitka already a lap down there. You can see on the back straight, Steve Sitka going to go into the back of Ginge. No, he chooses not to on this occasion. C. Banwell still leading away from Grinners. Ginge in third, Boffy fourth. Jay Canton Oppo now. Is he going to try and stop second place? He stopped Ginge in third, so that's now left C. Banwell leading with Grinners in second place. Gru there is a lap down. Let's see whether Gru maybe slows up to try and help C. Banwell out there in first. TGU boys looking like they're trying to take a clean sweep tonight. Parky, lap down there, goes in for a big shot on Rodders in Rodders P5. Lovely turned out car. And Banwell going really well here. He's not had a touch yet, I don't think. His damage is still his damage bar still full. And you're going to just catch Grinners on the bottom left of the screen there. He's been targeted by Jay Cant. We might jump to the action in third place here with Boffy. Boffy and Spratt. This seems to be a better battle at the moment than the battle for the lead. No doubt if something happens to the leader, these 3 or 4 drivers will catch them up. So Boffy's just collected a parked car there on the home straight. That's exactly what we wanted with the damage on intense cars parked all over the place. It's going to give these drivers something to try and avoid. And Spratt going in on Banwell. No, not quite. On Boffy even. Gru still a lap down there. He's not got much in the way of health left on that though. As Ginge comes up behind him in 5th. Ginge goes past him though. These 5 drivers are the ones that look like they're trying. Banwell has been taken out on the bottom corner there, so that's going to leave Grinners in first place with Spratt coming through now. Second place, Boffy in first. These guys need to get rid of these TGU lads. And Ginge in 4th place now. Spratt moves into the lead. Boffy, is he going to go back for a shot on Spratt? He is going to go back for a shot. Nothing big though. Just pushing his way back up the inside. Cracking race between these two for the lead. Parky there, still going slow in his hers. And that's Grinners putting in Boffy. Gets rid of Boffy. That's going to leave Spratt and Ginge in 1st and 2nd. C. Banwell now in 3rd. We're still on board with Boffy, but we can see the action. And Boffy gets taken in again by Grinners. Grinners taking it upon himself here to try and make sure the TGU lads don't have a say in this Heat 2 win. I don't think there's many blockers left running for the TGU lads. There is indeed Gru actually. So the battle here now appears to be between Spratt and Ginge. Mentioned at the start, Spratt a very fast driver, but Ginge particularly good in races. Not necessarily a hot lapper, but when it comes to the big occasions, he does rise to them. And he's giving chase to Spratt now. And here he comes. He's got 1 lap to... Spratt has been stopped, so Ginge is now going to make his way through, is he? He's got tangled up with Spratt. Dizzy Dex coming through in 3rd place, now into 2nd. Grinner's going up the inside of both of them. This is the last lap now. Battle for 1st place between these 3. C. Banwell is on the scene as well. It could be anyone from the top 4 or 5 here. Ginge is just slowing up. He's going to allow Dizzy Dex through. Dizzy Dex, Grinners, Banwell with a banzai shot there, takes them all out. Grinners comes through though for the win. Spratt in 2nd place, Boffy 3rd. What a race that was. That was anybody's going into that last corner. Grinners, who did the initial hard work getting rid of some of the TGU lads, has come good in the end, and it's really worked for him. He's going to be over the moon with that result, and a much deserved victory that. So Heat 2 results now going into the chat. And we will see whether Sean has made it back on. Unfortunately, see his internet go down. If he has, I'll invite him back in, and I'm gonna. Are you there, Mr. Taylor? Have you included your audio?
I have.
Excellent stuff. I'll do that now, and then I'm just very quickly gonna nip to the loo, mate. It's not letting me include my audio on yours.
Oh, I know why. For some reason, it's not streaming. 1 second.
Right, I will quickly nip to the loo whilst you do that, and then I will be back and include it.
Yeah, nightmare. So, what? Everyone seemed to enjoy that. Last year I was watching that one, sadly my internet did go down. Whoever stops Spratt gets a £5. Someone doesn't like you, Spratt, there in the chat. Is there a meeting on tomorrow? As banger meetings goes, there will be meetings on tomorrow night. There is one over at Wreckfest Console Banger Community. They've got one on at 10:30. I think that could be stock cars. We've also got a stock car meeting over on the Visca pages. That's also on. So bits of banter going in the chat there with Sprat. No, it will be live streamed, HRS Racing. We won't be commentating on it, sadly. We'll be streaming our stock car meeting at 8 o'clock. We'll also be streaming at 11 o'clock for our stock car meeting tonight. But obviously won't be commentating on because we'll be racing ourselves. So, nice to see we had a different winner for heat number 2.
Right, we are back. Woo! Had to go. The excitement from that heat too, mate. Unreal.
I watched it. I'm gutted that my internet was dead, but I don't know what's going on with it tonight. Whether it'll last, we'll see.
Tom Grindy in the chat told us that Grinner's had his name on Heat 2. Is that Grindle Snipe talking there in the chat? It's great to see some of these new drivers coming. Grinner's has gone really well so far, and another one that we knew nothing about that I'm really surprised about, Dizzy Dex. Performance of the night so far for me, Dizzy Deck. He's going really well.
Yeah, really well. He's definitely been in contention all night, hasn't he? He just got unlucky in that one there. Ginge going really well in that one. Tried to, I think, on that final corner, I noticed he put the brakes on, hoping to try and get a hit on them, and it didn't pay off for him.
No, he had to go
down
for
probably
it,
a bit too much. Oh yeah, definitely. So I'm back now, pace carring again. So are you stuck, Twisty?
Yeah, you take him round a bit, because I don't really want to leave it here, because I'm stuck at the moment, but I guarantee the second I retire this, it'll start rolling onto the track. So if you take him round, I'll reset it, and hopefully...
I was going to say, I could go and get you, but it's fine.
We're sorted now. Having an absolute nightmare on the car duties.
Yeah, I'm having a nightmare tonight.
Just one of those, isn't it, mate? You know, if it could happen, it would happen.
I never have a problem with stream. I've streamed 2 weeks, 3 weeks on for 7 days a week now. No issues with my streams, and then tonight, yeah, when I want it to work, it doesn't work. So, it is what it is. So, that always happens when you don't want it to. So, on the front row is Jake Ant and Ginge. Are you all ready to go?
We are set up and in place, and we might watch this one from the grandstand. As we go on turns 3 and 4, Sean is away, and Jake Ant is going to lead us on to the lap 2 of 15. Sprat already making a move up the inside, very brave with all the TGU lads there on the inside of him. Jay Taylor also making a move up to the front. Ginge still in it with a chance here on this next corner. Boffy leading the way, Sprat second, and Jay Taylor third. Ginge making his way up into 4th place there, maybe into 3rd, possibly. We're still on board with Jay Cant, so we'll get that changed to one of the front runners.
Yeah, I haven't made it back into the commentary box for this one, so you'll have me annoying you in this one. It's Ginge looking for a battle on Jay Taylor. Jay Taylor goes in, and that was Boffy on the back of Ginge there on 3 and 4. That's allowed Banwell up there into 2nd place now. That's put Ginge down to 6th place. Gru looks like he's waiting up on the back straight away for Jay Taylor. Are they all after him for some reason? And he's gone into him. That's put Jay Taylor in the wall. And Gru's got massive hit from Grinners. Absolutely huge there on the side of that wingman. And Rodders has just took out the TGU wingman of Gru. So that might be some payback from Heat 1 there. Sprat leads the way in this one, with Boffy in 2nd place, Dizzy Dex in 3rd place. Really good pace from him. It's, I think I need to try and race with him at some point. He's rapid.
I don't think you'd be anywhere near his pace, Sean. It'd be an embarrassment for you, mate. Is he in a team? Because I think he would look good in Fat Boy's colours.
Well, don't know, you could do with recruiting. All your rodders are gone, haven't you? So, massive hits. Oh, Banwell's been taken over the back. That's just absolutely huge. TGU putting the hits out. Banwell's had to reset. He's trying to go to the burger van there. He's lost the wheel as well. Boffy still in 2nd place for TGU at the moment in this one. Sailor 807 on Oppo.
Ginge going in with a big hit on 2nd and 3rd. Ginge puts them both in the wall and moves up the inside to take 2nd place. Boffy's not going to take that line down though and returns the shot with interest. These two really battling for second place. Sprat is nice steady pace out front for Sprat, which is still half a second quicker than most of us manage full tilt.
Yeah, definitely. Parky and Oppo there, but gives J-Can a massive hit there in the hearse. Grinner's also an offer tail. The Oppo zone is getting very busy. And Steve Sipka, huge hit on Parky there. Turns the hearse upside down on turns 3 there. So hopefully he's alright. And Rodder's going to the back of the Grand Duke there of Steve Sitka. Parky puts a hit on, and there's hits everywhere. Gin's gone in there. I think Sprat's managed to get through unscathed though.
We saw a massive hit from Kiffer going in on Jay Taylor, finishing Jay Taylor off in the midst of that melee.
Huge hits there, absolutely fantastic.
Grinner's taking it to the TGU blockers. Grinner's is a one-man army tonight. Is this Tom Keat come again? Unreal.
Possibly Grinners has gone. I think that was Jay Cant that just took him out. A lot of dead cars in this one. Sprat making his way through. Banwell with little health. Steve Sipka's gone out. This is absolutely fantastic. This is what we want to see. Banwell's gone. Dizzy Det's getting stuck on the inside curb, which is a shame on turns 3 and 4. Sprat looks like he's got this one in the bag.
2 laps to go this time. Boffy second, Ginge third, Kiffer fourth.
Kiffer in the Grand Duke. What's going on there?
He's out to prove that he can rod tonight, I think. And that's Rodders on Oppo. Big shot on Sprat there. That's allowed Boffy into the lead going on to the final lap.
So what we're going to see here, is it going to be a TGU win? Is Rodders are going to go for Boffy? Jay Cant is keeping him busy. What's going to happen here? And he's got in the way of him. That's and here comes Sprat, the inside line. Fantastic racing there. Sprat did him over. Boffy went round the outside, and Sprat just went up the inside. And I'll see you later.
Yeah,
so, really good race there.
It was only a lap earlier that Rodders took Sprat out of the lead, so it was only further that he returned the favour there and went for Boffy. But it looked like Jay Cant had him tied up, stopping him from taking him in, but he still managed to get him there.
Yeah, definitely. He managed to do really well in that one. Ginge coming home in 3rd place. It was a good pace from him.
Okay, so I think we'll probably, with the difficulties we've been having, Sean, it might be worth moving on to the final now, and then maybe trying to get a chat with the final winner, and going from there. We'd normally have a chat with some of the drivers at this point, but we have had a few technical issues tonight. Massive thank you to all of you watching, though. We're currently at over 60 viewers over the both streams, so massive thank you to you all for watching. And getting this out there, hopefully, to be witnessed by some of the men that count over at Bugbear and other games. Some of the spectators commenting that was a proper wreck up, and credit to you, Sean. These new damage rules are working well.
Yeah, definitely. The damage is fantastic, isn't it? It's what you want to see is a few of these guys putting the hits in, but it's probably as real as you're going to get, isn't it, at the moment for Xbox? And I think this is exactly what we wanted for years. So I'm happy with how this is going. But, apparently, Sprat may need scrutineering.
Yeah, yes. I was just about to mention that. Also, one of the spectators has spotted an illegal carb on his car.
Sprat's just correcting them. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Tire softener it is. He's bathed his tyres in a big vat of Red Bull before the meeting, and that's helped them stick to the corners a lot better, and you can see it's working. So who are you fancying for this final, Sean? Are we having any finishes?
Well, from what I was hearing from a certain team, I'm sure you can guess which one. They were looking for no finishes. That's what they want, but we will see, and how we will. That makes our job easy. Well, harder actually, because how are we supposed to decide a best of the best winner for next month.
Well,
but we'll worry about that when it comes to it.
Yeah. We'll see.
But it's been really good so far. Really enjoying all of it. Hopefully my internet has sorted itself out. So
yeah, I've been a lot clearer since you came back, Sean, and I'm touching wood, so hopefully that won't jinx you.
All right.
Hopefully you'll be clear as day for this final. So, let's see what we've got in terms of the front line. Well, two of the fastest drivers tonight, Sprat and Dizzy Dex. We're going to jump on board with Dizzy Dex for the start of this one and see how he gets on. Rammer is one of those cars that you don't really think is that fast, but doesn't matter what track it's on, it is always pretty quick. There is a bit of argy-bargy on the pace lap here already. Some of these boys need to just settle themselves down. And we've got a few here. I don't know what's going on. This is disappointing to see.
What's going on? Come on, lads, sort yourselves out.
Yeah. Jay Taylor's decided he's going to the back of the grid for this one. Boffy also thinking about going to the back of the grid. And if you can hear that over the sound of the engines, I think we've got a very faint chicken noise coming from some of these drivers. As they all try and get to the back of the grid at this rate, they're all going to be 15 laps down. Right, Sean, I think you can start rolling them now, mate.
Yeah, no, I've had enough waiting for them. I've had my wing knocked off now as well, so it's all good.
Yeah, I mean, at this rate, there's going to be a 15-car pile-up, I think, first corner. 16 probably if we count use after he runs of them.
Well, hopefully I can get away quick enough. It's not the pickup, don't worry.
This one's shaping up to be an interesting. Parky's parked across the front of the two of the TG lads on the pace. That's going to have to be looked at by the officials, but we look at the paceman at the front here. Dizzy Deck gets away, catches the curve there. That's going to send him out wide. Sprat's up the inside with Gingy in third now. Gingy's looking for a way past these two. I'm not sure you want to be leading at this stage of the final because you're going to be the first ones on the firing line. But
Taylor 807 already dead by Steve Sipka.
Steve Sitka
sorry
has
to
just
put
pulled
in
back
there,
off
but that
the
was
infield.
unbelievable.
That's all right. He's a man for the shots, is Steve Sitka, and if he's got rid of one already with hardly any damage, he's going to be looking to do some serious damage in this one. Sprat now leading with Dizzy Deck second, C. Banwell third, Ginge fourth, and Grinners in fifth.
Yeah, we're looking at the front ram sat on turns 3 and 4. It's going really well. He's spratting this one. Wouldn't be surprised to see him get another win.
Turns 3 and 4 there, a massive following from Ginge on C. Banwell. Taking a good chunk of health off C. Banwell. That was a massive shot there from him. Just developing into a bit of a hot rod race at the moment. I'm sure it's going to liven up as the laps get on. Parky now a lap down on the leader, but he's not going to have the pace to do anything about him. We're still on board with Dizzy Dex in second. Steve Sitka there, he's a lap down. He doesn't go in on Dizzy Dex. I've got a feeling Steve Sitka might be waiting for some of the other drivers.
What are we going to see? It is a 20-lap race, remember, everyone. So this is a long race. You don't want to die early like sadly Taylor has gone. And obviously Jay Taylor hasn't got his back up for this one. TZU have seemed to have stopped him, and they're all over him, going into turns 3 and 4 on the back straightaway there. Boffy puts a hit on him. And down the straight now. Are we going to see them go for him, maybe? And Parky, he's having a bit of a ding-dong on the home straight there. With one of the TGUs, that's Jay Cant and Steve Sipka. So some of the entertaining lads there, all over each other, don't know what's going on. And I think that was Gru going in the back of Parky. He's sort of leaning against the wall. And Ginge goes in the back of Gru on the back straight. And Rodders also goes back in the back of the hearse. Gru trying to finish the hearse off there.
Beginning to put a shift in this one is Ginge. He's put some big shots in already and only lost about a quarter of one little bar of health. So going well in fourth place at this point.
it looks like the TGU lads are after Jay Taylor by the looks of things. Boffy all over the back of him.
Yeah, we're going to jump on board with that battle now as they go into turns 1 and 2.
He's just been put
Jay
in.
Taylor, he's surrounded at the moment by red cars. This is not looking good for Jay Taylor. He probably pulls onto the safest part of the track for him, the infield. And I know he turned up in an unlimited Jay. He turned up in an unlimited Jay Taylor, but it looks like he's rocking a 1300 at the moment.
Yeah, it does look a bit small. I think he's looking like he's doing a bit of lawn mowing on the infield there. Didn't realise.
He's unsure of what to do, isn't he? Where to go? Maybe wait until the end of the race, possibly, and take someone out.
But it's a bit roddy, this one so far. As we're moving on to lap 14, here comes Spratt down into what grew on the back of Spratt. Turns him sideways a little bit, and he managed to keep it held together. It's a bit of a surprising race so far. Hopefully it'll liven up in the last 5 laps of this one.
Yeah, we move on to lap 15 now with the front runners, so 6 laps including this one to go. Ginger is the one we're on board with at the moment in 4th place. He's the man who could possibly catch the front 2 up. As he moves up the inside of C. Banwell into 3rd place now. What is C. Banwell going to give it him back? Nobody goes back up the inside of him. Dizzy Deck's been taken out on turns 1 and 2 by Grew, and Ginger's been put into a parked car there, courtesy of C. Banwell.
So as that was going on, we've seen
flying, mate.
We've seen Rodders and Steve Sipko and Oppo on turns 3 and 4, and the Dominator had no chance against the Grand Duke and got taken out, and Jay Cant coming to finish it off, and that was him out. And the massive hit's going in. Steve Sipka puts a huge hit on. I think that was Jay Taylor. I think he's gone. Not sure what that is anymore. That is one very crushed Road Slayer on turns 3 and 4. Jay Cant on the Oppo hits Grinners. He just about clips Kiffer there, and a massive hit on Ginge. Everyone, the guys are still running. Ginger's managed to make his way up to 2nd place. Spratt is in a world of his own in this one.
Yeah, we're about to start the final lap for Spratt. He's hardly taken any damage. Where is Ginger at this point? He's got to be a good half a lap down on the leader. Spratt can take his time on this last corner. He does indeed go wide and come round, and it's going to be a very easy win for Spratt, much the same as Grew's last meeting. And, well, possibly a slightly disappointing race there in terms of the actual top 3. Some of the action, though, that we'll hopefully get on the replay for the YouTube channel, we'll be able to show you some of the hits that did go in. From your angle, yeah. Sean, I heard you getting animated a few times, mate. So I'm sure you got some of the action there. We'll try and get that accompanied into the release.
That
after
hit
this
on Jay
meeting.
Taylor was absolutely massive. Yeah, I don't know if you've had a look at the car, but it's absolutely destroyed.
Are we talking Jay Taylor here?
Yeah, the 2 back wheels are touching each other. That's how
Let's try and
get
a look. Here it is. Have we checked that driver's all right? He's giving the thumbs up, but there's not much left of that car. That is absolutely crumpled.
It is, yeah. So, shame we had. It was a bit of a roddy one, but you are going to expect it. I think to a certain degree. Obviously, the winner of that does qualify for the next best of the best, and Spratt takes that crown, which is surprising, really, with that many TGU in. It was, almost thinking you're coming into this, you think, well, we're going to get another TGU driver get through, but we haven't had that. So, which is a shame to see that. So we still have the all-comers indeed yet to go. So hopefully we'll be grabbing a word with Spratt in a second.
See if we can get a chat with him, yeah. If he does indeed have a mic. Spratt. Have you included your audio mates in the party?
Go on to the party and click the little...
Done.
See it.
Right, mate. So, how do you feel after that final?
Oh, as Cubs says, my head's massive.
Well, I mean, we know you've done F2s and all that sort of stuff in real life, but surely this has got to be the best win you've had in your career.
What, including real life as well?
Gotta be, mate. Gotta be.
No, I remember my first junior banger win. That's got to be the best.
Excellent stuff. So, I guess the question that is on everybody's mind, mate, is how are you so fast on the game? What's your secret?
Tyre softener. No, I don't know. I've been playing it since it came out, so you just mess about with things.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, I've been playing it since it came out, mate, but I mean, nowhere near your sort of pace. Which promotions do you normally race, Sprat?
I used to do Wreckfest team championships, but I got bored of that, so I started sticking to Northern Bangers, and now I do your stock car league. I don't have much time neither to do every league.
There are a lot of leagues about, aren't there? So,
yeah.
If you was to give a shout out for Northern Bangers, what do you like so much about the group?
Well, it's Drew, innit, on his own. He started off on his own, and just seems to be improving every week, which is good. And just needs the same. We have the same bunch of drivers every week, which is great. And there's a lot of battles. It's all good. It's great.
Good stuff, mate. Good stuff. Well, it's been great having you in this Best of the Best, mate, and you qualify for the next one. So I'm hoping your F2 calendar's not too busy for next month.
No, we're not racing this year.
Oh, okay. So you're saving yourself for next year.
Yeah, we're only time racing this year is next week in a saloon. That's it.
Oh right, really? Where's that you're racing?
Skegness on Thursday.
Right. Well, we'll have to keep an eye out for them results, mate.
Last.
Well, as my dad always says when we go racing, 3 finishes is a one. Right. Excellent, mate. We'll get on with this all-comers and DD, and yeah, hopefully, nice one, mate.
Nice.
So, very buoyant, as you'd expect, for winning the final. I think the first time I spoke to Sprat there, Sean, I don't know whether you spoke to Sprat much in the past.
I have hit here and there, yeah. But I think fairly happy with the win. My internet does seem to be taking turn for the worst again, so but hopefully it lasts this all coming to DD.
Yeah,
and, fingers and toes are crossed. That's for sure.
Yeah, all 6 of them. Yeah. No, well, it was nice to talk to Sprat, and I think you often find with members of this community, there's a certain type of driver, and Sprat sounds like that sort of driver that if I'm racing against him, I really do not want to be sat in front of him on lap 1, lap 2, or lap 15, because I know he's racing for that position, whether that position's 14th and 15th. Yeah, I'm hoping to get to some real life meetings and watch him race. I have watched him race in the F2 on the Shale, and he's a very quick driver.
Yeah, very, very quick. Especially from the grade he sits at, so he's obviously not racing this year, racing the saloon, so it'll be, he says last, but yeah, I'll be surprised.
We went watching the World Final last year up at Cowden Beef, and them boys, they know how to put a shot in. It's basically banger drivers in stock cars, I think, the saloons.
Yeah, basically it is, isn't it? A lot of them are ex-banger drivers, to be fair, as well.
Right, Sean, I think this is the best pace lap's going to be, so if we get them rolling, mate, and we'll see how they get on for this one. And hopefully we don't get Parky parking up as he did last time. There's
maybe he lost his gear. Maybe he lost the gear.
Possibly, it does happen. It does happen. In fact, I can't see Parky. Where is Parky?
On the home straight still, with Boffy by the looks of things.
Well,
Panwell's
been spun out already. We're just going to jump on board with these two at the back here, playing chicken between each other. Steve Taylor getting spun out already on lap 1 there across the start-finish line. Trying a different angle. These drivers now, they're nothing to lose anymore. They're really starting to put the bumpers in. Jay Kant going in on dizzy decks there. Ginge now takes the lead with Kiffer in second place. We'll try and jump on board with the action there. We're here with Kiffer, who's in his Grand Duke. Don't expect Kiffer to try and catch Ginge in Ginge's sweeper, but Kiffer, no doubt, we'll try and catch Ginge when Ginge maybe gets stopped by some of the other drivers, although at the moment, every driver seems to be in their own battle. We'll try and get this camera angle sorted as well. I'm going to have to sack this cameraman. Okay, so we're on board with Kiffer still in second place. Dizzy Deck's back up there in third, and ever present tonight at the front of the field. Ginge going across the line in first place on lap 5 now with 15.
Yeah, he's going really well in this one. He has been there or thereabouts all night. Not been up there enough, and probably had no friends in here to help him out. But not the pace of Spratt, but Spratt in 5th place in this one, got took out early on. I did see on turns 1, Parky and Gru going off the centre green. Parky going for one of the TGU misses, takes a wheel off. Here comes Gru across the centre. And off the infield there, massive hit, and Kiffer going to finish him off. Here goes Badwell, absolutely fantastic, massive hit, and there goes Jay Taylor and Badwell. Here comes Spratt, and Buffy goes in again. Jay Kant goes in. This is what you want. Here comes Ginge, the leader takes it, goes in on the back of Spratt. Massive jacking train on turns 4 there, absolutely brilliant. Steve Sipka going on grinners. He's out of this one already.
We're going to get the free cam and just check on Parky. Yeah, thumbs up from Parky, and thumbs up is that Gru that's wrecked as well. Thumbs up from them too. Parky, in fact, waving in some of the other drivers into the back of him. That's what you want to see.
Absolutely brilliant. What a jacking train that was. Kiffer on the Oppo in the Grand Duke now. As we're moving on to lap 9, Gin's still up front. Here he comes. Who's Kiffer going for? Dizzy Dex in second place. Kiffer looking to pounce, and here he is on Taylor, and he misses him. He turns back round. Steve Sipka also spins it round now. Who's he going to go for? This is a fantastic Taylor 807 going across the middle there. Goes on to turns 1 and 2, and I think that he was going for Buffy, and it's not paid off for him. He's just been hit massively by one of the wingmen there. Jay Taylor's just been took out by Ginge.
Some of these drivers now really starting to lose the patience. Some big hits going in. That's Steve Sitka with a big head on with Ginge there, and that's allowed Dizzy Deck now through. Dizzy Deck in second place, right behind Ginge, going up the inside of him for first place as they go on to lap 12 and 15, and Dizzy Deck is spun round by Jay Kant and the Ginge. Jay Kant, is he going to try and do Ginge? Ginge has got the pace to pull away from him. Is Jay Kant going to have a lunge? He's not quite going to be there though. Ginge through. Nice lead on Dizzy Dex. I think Ginge probably deserves a win tonight, really, with his form. He's been there or thereabouts every race. And Steve Sitka with a massive shot off the infield. That was unreal. Oh, Dizzy Deck's been taken out as well. Ginge has lost nearly all his health. Oh, no. Nightmare for Ginge. He's dropped down to 3rd place, and Dizzy Deck has been taken over by Rodders now in 1st place. Great to see the Cage Man through into 1st place. This is the first we've seen of him rodding. He's been wrecking for the majority of the night. He now sits in 1st with 2 laps to go, coming up to the end of lap 14.
And here comes Jay Kant. Big hit. Buffy goes in the back of him. Here comes Dizzy Dex as well. The two of the TGU lads now on Oppo, Wingman and a Grand Duke. Ginge down in 3rd place. As we're on to the final lap, what are we going to see? It's Rodders in 1st place. Not much. Buffy also on Oppo now as well. Here we go. They've all missed Rodders. Rodders has gone in. Dizzy Dex has been hit as well. Is Ginge got enough to come back? Ginge is on Oppo as well. Rodders takes... Is Dizzy Dex going to get through? Dizzy Dex is possibly going to get killed by the Ginge. There, Ginge is gone. Dizzy Dex is still running though. They're going for Dizzy Dex. They're not going to let him finish. Here comes Boffy. Boffy through the back of him, and the leader's gone. Fantastic. Well done, lads. Absolutely fantastic. And it's the TGU lads putting on a show. Absolutely brilliant.
That leaves us with Boffy, who's now going across on lap 14. With 2 of his teammates left. Well, this is the race with his final. Those who have stayed to watch the all-comers have been treated here. Boffy gonna get a shot from Jay Cant and he survives.
This definitely by far the best race of the best. Jay Cant and Kiffer on Oppo. Is Jay Cant possibly looking for Boffy? What are they gonna do? Are they gonna take each other out maybe?
Possibly. Jay Cant looking for Boffy. Big shot on Boffy. Boffy needs to try and limp this across the line now. Is he going to make it? Looking to the bottom of your screen. Is Jay Cant going to get him? He is! Oh, it's Kiffer left.
And it's Kiffer! Absolutely fantastic. Well done, TGU. What a show. As he's on lap 12 as well, coming across the centre green.
He can pull that onto the middle there and do a bit of celebrating as he might. I think we've lost our co-commentator there briefly with the excitement. That was something else. That Kiffer is being waved down there. He can pull it in and he can retire if he wants to. But no doubt he's going to want to try and rub this into his competitors as he's going in for another shot here. Oh, crikey! Can we get the marshals over there too? I think it was Jay Taylor. Check he's all right in that car. Great shot by Kiffer. We are getting the thumbs up from Jay Taylor, I think. And Kiffer going in for another shot on the other Taylor. He's coming in for another one. Jay Taylor's waving him in here. Oh!
This was the race, wasn't it? This is the race that we wanted all night.
This was the one we was promised.
What a drive! Massive jacking train involving Parkey and Banwell. And they're the first couple to go. It's, every single driver, and Ginge turning it around as well was absolutely fantastic. I thought we may see him take the win, and next minute you see him coming up. Absolutely brilliant. Well done, lads.
He probably thought he had to do it to get the win, but I imagine halfway around the track when he saw all the TGU lads also on Oppo, I bet he thought, shit, I could have won this one. Kiffer is really starting to rub this in now to the other drivers. You can see all the marshals there in the background telling him to pull it on the infield, but he's having none of it. Here he goes again across the infield. 3 wheels on his wagon, but he's still going in for the shots. Well, that could be the end of it for Kiffer there. He's got himself beached on the curb. There we go. We'll have to get the tractor on there to get him off that curb. Well, believe it or not, we move on to the DD now, Sean.
Yeah. Do we need a DD?
I'm not sure we do, but
we're gonna get one. One more now, lads. One more. And thank you everyone for sticking with us through this. If you did stick round, that was an absolutely fantastic race. It was brilliant to see the Taylors and Parky and that getting all stuck in with TGU. They absolutely dominated that, taking Dizzy Dex out at the end. It was a shame not to see him get the all-comers win. And Rodders as well also got eliminated by TGU as well. I think there wasn't many drivers they didn't take out in that one.
No, I mean you've got to appreciate the effort put in by the Taylors and Parky, though they are outnumbered tonight. But you'd have to say they're not outgunned. They're giving as good as they're getting, and yeah, Allcomers was worth the admission alone, and hopefully that'll be the one that they'll take home with them and talk about for months to come, all the way up to the next one. Got TGU's biggest fan here in the chat, GB Sleaze, saying that TGU deserve to be here. All great drivers, you'd have to agree. Nice to see Dwarf's Auto Parts in the chat also, mentioning Gru, saying that he's made it entertaining. It's great to see. Obviously, anybody needing any brake parts, get yourself down to him. He knows how to keep a car stopped.
Well, the TGU lads there seem to know what they were doing, and Parky, I think he's been with the over to Dwarf this morning. He's had some good breaks on that hearse, definitely.
Definitely on the rolling lap, mate. Yeah, I think they stick a bit for the first 2 laps and then they get going.
Yeah, we're Pugmile. Great race. Yeah, it was a race. Very, very bluntly, couldn't you? It was more of a DD,
yeah.
but.
Right, so hopefully the drivers have got the memo and they're going to let me and Sean get off the track, but it doesn't look like that's the case. So
no, I already got nailed.
We'll try and get hidden quick and get this action on. Okay. We're going to try and go with the free cam, I think, here. I think that's going to be the best way of doing it. And we've probably already missed half the action, but here we go. We'll try and get as much as we can as drivers are going across the infield.
It's full of cars in this one. Parking, Kiff are going on head-ons at each other. Jay Taylor going across the infield. Steve Sitka as well. There's a few on the infield in this one.
Kiffer looked like he was going in for a big head-on with the bulldozer there. There's only going to be one winner there, though.
Spratt just took a big head-on there. I think we got it with Kiffer, I think. They're on turns 1 and 2. Taylor 8 or 7 looking across the shale. Jay Taylor looks like he's hiding in this one. Not surprised to see that. Ginger's had a lot of health taken off him. And Taylor 807 just gets T-boned by Spratt.
Yeah, Spratt is
Dizzy
nearly
Dex, massive
gone.
hit on Spratt. That was huge hit by Dizzy Dex.
Spratt trying to keep his going for one last big hit. Who's he going to put it on? Dex. Dex has finished the job there. Rodders is coming in on Dex. A good shot from him there. Takes a bit of health off him. Boffy is the DD expert here. He's already had 2 DD wins in the best of the best. He's the one to watch. Possibly not in the right car for it tonight, but we'll see.
Yeah, Banwell got jacked up by Grinners on 1 and 2. There's a lot of TGU lads in this one.
Sitka going in big on Ginge there. He's spun him round. Both of them still going though. Steve Sitka still got a lot of health on him in that big vehicle of his, the Grand Duke. He's another one who needs to be watched.
Grinner's massive hit there, and Rodders as well, going in the back of Banwell. Trying to finish Banwell off, trying to get one of the TGU lads out. Gru not got much health in this one left. Jay Taylor.
Gru finishing off Parky there on the grass.
He's doing a lot of lawn mowing in this one, Jay Taylor. He spent most of his time on the grass.
It's looking a bit like Tom and Jerry here, but can you blame him with 2 or 3 of the TGU lads following him round? And Jay Camp with a big shot there off the grass. Straight into the side, and then Jay Taylor going back the other way now, chasing Rodders. And I don't think he went in for a hit on Rodders there, but he put quite an effective side shot on him. Ginge coming across the infield, but doesn't quite get Jay Taylor. See Banwell with hardly any health on him, he's across the infield as well. Putting an absolute masterclass in Jay Taylor of how not to get hit, and Jay Camp's now got him penned in here. This could spell bad news for Jay Taylor. A big, he's gone! That's a combination of, I think it was Boffy there and Steve Sitka. I don't think Steve Sitka was going for anyone there, but he put him away. What a shot that was.
Yeah, in the meantime, Rodders has took out Banwell. That's One of the TGU lads gone. That's another one of them gone. It's down to a few left going now. It's, Steve Sipka's lost a wheel on the shale. He's just doing donuts. Boffy as well, also doing donuts. His left front wheel's just pointing towards the wall.
I don't know how Boffy does it in these. He's sat in Road Slayer and he's still got pretty much all of his health left. He's probably the favourite at this point, although them Grand Dukes do take some stopping even when they've got less health than you.
Bit of a jacking train on the back straight away now. Steve Sitka and Rodders involved, and Kiffer. Here comes the TGU lads on the back of Rodders, and he sent him upside down, and that's the P5 gone. Absolutely destroyed the P5.
There's not much left of that car.
3 TGU versus Steve Sipka with 3 wheels on the Grand Duke. What's he gonna do? Rodding is the word.
Well, I mean, he's got 3 TGU cars to try and finish off here. It's probably not a bad idea. Kiffer going across the infield.
And this is why they are Calendar Cup champions, as I found out.
If you look up top corner, though, Boffy has just followed Jay Canton and then finished him off on the back straight. That's an interesting turn up for the books. I don't know what's happened there.
Maybe.
Boffy
goes huge. Here comes Kiffer, finishing him off, and it's going to be a TGU win. Is Kiffer going to take the win, maybe? Is he going to take the win from Boffy, or is it going to be Boffy? What are we going to see here?
This is interesting now. I'm not sure what the plan is from these two.
Kiffer's doing donuts. But there's still one left, Kiffer. What's Boffy going to do in this one?
Jump on board with Boffy. As he comes. Oh, we got him.
Massive credit to the TGU lads. They've definitely put on a show tonight. Well done, lads. Absolutely fantastic.
A bit it's like they don't want to hit each other here, and I mean you could kind of understand it, and it looks like Kiffin now maybe presented himself. I think that's probably the best way of describing it. Ready perhaps for a big shot from Boffy. Oh, what an effort! You can see the crowd in the background there applauding their snapper at the burger bar. What a shot! That takes another DD win, Sean.
Yeah, that's another one, isn't it? Is that a DD win in every single one he's done?
Yeah.
Every best of the best he's done.
It is. It is indeed.
So, no one else got that claim to fame.
No. So, I mean, if he can get into the next one, then no doubt he'll be the man to try and stop.
No, definitely, yeah.
So, as we watch Boffy finish himself off on some of these parked cars, you got anything left to say to the crowd watching, Sean?
Just if you want to get involved, as you've probably seen a lot of the promotions that are involved in this, get messages in those promoters and find out when they're going to run in their qualifiers. I myself will start messaging the promoters over the weekend and start sorting the next one out. We haven't got a date confirmed, but it will be the end of the month, so it should be the last week of the month. On a Wednesday again. That is the plan at the moment, but if anything changes you will see it posted all over the group, so make sure you look into that. I'm hoping we'll see some more new drivers in this one. Maybe we'll see another team make it through all the way through. We've not had a team such as TGU. We've never had a massive clump of drivers like these two. He's proper finished himself off here, isn't he, Boffy?
He's going for it, isn't he? Tyres are pointing everywhere, mate. One of his tyres has gone to shops, the others come back with changes. He's all over the place. But I think tonight has been a real nice event. It's been a bit of a shame about the connection issues, but we've done the best we can. But I think the thing that's really made tonight has been the mix of new drivers and old drivers. The likes of Ginge turning up. It'd be great to see some of the older members of the community, maybe somebody like Satsuma who runs Wreckfest Banger League next time, maybe a Bryson from Cage. It's good to see some of them older drivers. I'd love to see Dizzy Dex come back because he has gone really well tonight. Grinners, them first 3 heats, fantastic shots he was putting in. Up to that point, I'd have probably had him as my entertainer of the meeting. So good to see some of them drivers come back. Rodders was a bit quiet early on, but we saw him coming to life towards the end of the meeting. So yeah, really fantastic meeting, and I think that's the biggest attendance we've had for one of these. So a massive thank you to everyone who has watched and followed. And keep tuned, keep watching. We'll be streaming more of this stuff. We will have an F1 meeting on shortly as well for those who are interested in that. But I think for now,
Yeah.
Sean,
That is it, I think, for us.
we'll wish you all well. Thank you once again. Massive thank you to all the drivers and promoters who have put drivers forward. Massive thank you to the spectators, and the biggest thank you, as always, to Sean136 for setting this up. Thank you, Sean. Hopefully we get another one next month, which is equally as good, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much, and we'll see you all next month.